Hey guys, p.e.k.k.a here, and welcome back for a new, perfect 12-win Grands Challenge. So this deck is a P.E.K.K.A Night Witch Graveyard deck with the Executioner Tornado combo on defense, and like most good graveyard decks, we are playing Poison as a complement. So as many of you know, Night Witch is everywhere in these challenges, and we are playing the three best cards against her. Now the best card against her is the Executioner, as it will kill her plus all the bats and the death spawn. And next I would say is Poison, and with just a little bit of extra damage, Poison will take out the Night Witch plus all the spawn bats when she dies. And finally we also play our own Night Witch, and our own Night Witch can obviously take out theirs at the same time, and just as an even trade. So in this deck, I often want to make my opponent make the first move, as this deck really wants to defend in the same lane the opponent wants to attack, and not really split push. This deck relies heavily on very specific answers to its opponent's threats, as Executioner really only is our only good answer to swarms, and we do have Poison as a backup, but something like minions or minion horde is best handled by the Executioner. Or you don't want your P.E.K.K.A going down the lane when they're giant or Golem is already coming down a different lane against you. So it is very important that we do fight in the same lane, and this deck becomes a true strength at that when we have P.E.K.K.A, Tornado, and Executioner all going down. So let's hop into this chest opening, and then we'll get into these matches. So as we see here, we got our perfect 12-0 chest. Let's get it going. So first, a nice 22,000 gold. We're open up with our epics already, getting a Poison, 97 archers. All these commons will be converted to gold. Very nice on our mega minions. Also nice for those rockets. I feel like I'm always donating them. Nice. Less than 200 left for those ice golems. Okay, mirrors, guards. Oh man, I think that's all of our epics, bowlers. So now, is this just going to be a bunch of rares? No. I think we're going to get rares. I could be wrong. Yeah, unfortunately. Furnace, once again, no legendaries. Killing me. All in all, not too bad. Definitely could use those bowlers and rockets, and obviously the gold. So let's get into those matches. So we are going to show our 10th, 11th, and 12th win in these. So this first match is versus Wallet. So we're just going to cycle our skeletons in the back. And then we're just sitting there, so I didn't want to keep waiting forever, so I went with my Night Witch. So Night Witch isn't great versus that Musketeer. It's doing a good job against me. But we will use our P.E.K.K.A against the other group, the group of two. And then all of a sudden we're now staring down at a minion horde, as well as backed up by that Musketeer. But he has to drop his battering ram defensively, and our P.E.K.K.A just winds up cleaning that up all in 3 shots, and still supported by our Executioner, we take down that tower. Not too bad on that first push of the game, although our right side is very low. I did get greedy here, thinking that I could go in for a graveyard push right away, since I figured that he would try to defend my Executioner, but he did not defend the Executioner, and he did defend my graveyard very well, only getting 600 damage off basically. So now he's got an elixir lead and the pump, so that is a big problem. So we're going to go with a P.E.K.K.A down the right side as soon as he drops that Golem as well. So P.E.K.K.A versus Golem, which is generally good for the P.E.K.K.A, but the P.E.K.K.A doesn't kill all by itself before the Golem reaches the tower without additional help. So we are going to drop our Executioner here so we can get going. So we'll pull everything together. We did pull that back just slightly too far. That Executioner had to move up in order to keep swinging. And now we're back to this this minion horde, which is definitely a problem. We have to poison it down. And our tower is all the way down to 300. Night Witch does a great job of countering Battering Ram 4 for 4, as well as being alive afterwards. And we'll catch up slightly in our elixir deficit by just logging down that Goblin Gang. Now we're back to the end of his pump, so he has gained all his elixir from that, and now we have this Golem coming down against our P.E.K.K.A Executioner one more time. So this time we're poisoning them down. We're going to use our Night Witch on the other side. And P.E.K.K.A will finally get some hits off. And with that said, just a tiny bit of damage left on our tower, 160. And we haven't made much, we didn't make a lot of progress after that first push. We got too greedy on that one graveyard, but we were able to capitalize on that first push and take down the 1-0 victory. Okay, so let's hop into game 2. So this is versus Nino. So Nino opens up with a giant that immediately lets us open up with a P.E.K.K.A. So P.E.K.K.A versus a giant is a great deal for us. That basically already neutralized his P.E.K.K.A. So he's going to try to save his giant a little bit by trying to get us to hit his skeletons. Our executioner does good work here. We use our skeletons to distract his mega minion, and he winds up zapping our skeletons. We were able to save our executioner because of those skeletons. Now we got our nice graveyard push already, and we're able to poison down that Goblin Gang. And if look at all those skeletons are just beating down that tower to a pulp. So just like that, one tower, one push. And he doesn't even have a counterattack to come back at us. So Nino goes for a quick giant mega minion at the bridge, and we're able to respond with our P.E.K.K.A right away. And so now we have our P.E.K.K.A and our Night Witch together. We got this nice push already, and he's way down in elixir. So as soon as this tower locks onto our P.E.K.K.A, we're going to drop our graveyard. And Nino already knows that it's over and is just conceded. So P.E.K.K.A graveyard takes that all down very quickly in a nice 3-0 victory. Not too bad for our 11th win. And finally, let's get into match number 12. So this is versus an extremely common deck that you're going to find if you're doing challenges, and it's the deck that I was playing, and it's kind of similar to the deck I was playing previously, which is another Night Witch Executioner Graveyard, but it's a little bit smaller, playing Knight, and some of them are playing Ice Golem instead. So we will line up our Night Witch against theirs. It will fight on our side of the map so that we can get some damage in. So I did try to distract that Executioner with my P.E.K.K.A, allowing my Night Witch to stay alive. Unfortunately, it didn't work. He was able to pull off a great tornado. So what we did here is we log everything back, and then we're able to re-surround that Executioner so that he doesn't kill ours. And all in all, our Executioner did a great job cleaning up his. With that said, we only took 130 damage. I always think that's a win against a graveyard. So we kill this baby dragon with Tornado, which is nice, pulling it into the center. So now we basically know his deck. He's basically playing a variation of Splash Yard, but instead of Bowler, we're now playing Executioner and Night Witch. Instead of Bowler and E-Wiz, we're playing Executioner and Night Witch. So our P.E.K.K.A will just slowly eat this Knight. So Knight for breakfast. Executioner's next. We'll drop our Executioner as well, start splashing down his. So Night Witch down, Executioner down. Now we got our Night Witch plus a Graveyard with a nice push here. So he drops a Graveyard, sorry, he drops his poison on my Night Witch and not on the Graveyard. Meanwhile, our Night Witch is just beating down with her Battle Axe. And then we're able to get a few Death Spawn skeletons going too. So we'll drop our Knight once again on his Knight, our P.E.K.K.A on his Knight. We were just a second too early, as we do want to make sure that we have that baby dragon in tower range next time, so it doesn't take so long for our Executioner to kill. So we did get a nice poison out on this on that tower. So we didn't want them killing our Night Witch, so we did pull everything back. And just to make sure that Knight doesn't start beating down our tower, we'll drop a second Night Witch. So now we got 2 Night Witches here. And we're just going to go for another Graveyard. Hopefully that these bats can clean up. So log, we are able to get a couple skeleton hits here. Now we just have to cycle back to our poison for the final victory. So I did say that this was a perfect 12-0 victory. So I did want to show you something else. We didn't even lose a tower in this. We just crushed them. All the games, no towers lost. Perfect, man. So this is a deck that you'll definitely want to try. It's excellent on defense, strong on offense on the transition. You know, using your leftover troops to turn into a graveyard counter push. It plays kind of similar to Splash Yard if you're used to that, which is the bowler, graveyard, baby dragon deck. It does play very similar to that. So if you were good at that deck, this is a deck that you may want to try. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, thank you so much for stopping by. Peace.